Hello there. Ascora have released a new version of the iOS app as of the 21st of January 2024, and alongside a whole bunch of improvements and new features, there are a bunch of equipment-related features that I'd like to show you today. So I'm in the Ascora app on my iPhone, and you can see I have a job in my schedule for equipment servicing, so I'm going to tap into that. I'm not going to bother checking in and doing things we normally do with a job. Obviously, you should do that. I'm going to go straight to the equipment system. So I'll go to the menu, I'll go to equipment. When I land on the equipment page, this page is like my equipment list page against the job. So it's all the pieces of equipment that have been attached to the job. You can see here that I have two fire hose reels, an FHR1 and FHR2. So they're the two hose reels that I need to test and work with in this job today. You don't see a great deal of change in this particular screen. This is the list screen for your equipment, but when you tap into the details screen of one of the pieces of equipment, the changes start to become apparent. So the first change I want to point out is along the top. Along the very top of the screen, we have the cancel option on the left, the done option on the right, and in between you now have two arrows, one facing to the right, one facing to the left. That's allowing me to quickly navigate between my pieces of equipment whilst I'm in details view. Vast improvement to what we had before, where you had to constantly go back out to the list to get into the next piece of equipment. So using this new approach, you can fill out all your details for FHR1, then simply move on to FHR2. I'm going to work with FHR1 today, so I'll back out to that. That's the first improvement. The next improvement is also in that top bar, in the white bar at the top, and it's the camera icon. You can see it quite clearly, and if I tap on it, it's a one-tap access to fire up my camera so that I can take a photo of my piece of equipment, which happens to be my keyboard. And as you can see, I've now taken the photo and the camera's disappeared, closed up. Where's the photo gone? If you look along the bottom of the screen, you'll see four icons: details, fields, attachments, history, and then a triple dot more menu. That's my equipment navigation. And if I jump into attachments there, that's where you'll find your photos that you take. And of course, just like other photos, you can tap into the category and change the category if you need to. I'm going to go back to the detail screen for FHR1. So they're the first couple of improvements. The swapping between your pieces of equipment navigation at the top and the one tap access to your camera. In the green band that says details, the header band at the top there, just beneath the camera icon, you can see two new buttons: scan barcode and fill out form. These are again one tap access to either scanning a barcode or to your form library so that you can complete some kind of service form with a piece of equipment. So firstly, let's scan a barcode. I'm going to tap scan barcode. That fires up my camera. And again, if I just focus on a barcode, let the camera sort out its focus, it then snapshots the barcode. And again, it hides the camera. Where has the barcode gone? I'll show you in a moment. The next button there is fill out form. If I tap that, it takes me straight into my form library so I can search for the form that I need, which happens to be my service report form. I'm not going to bother filling out the form today. I'm pretty certain you all know how to do that. I will just quickly generate the form though. I don't have any required fields in this form, so that's okay to do. You can see it's given me a preview of the form. I can now hit done and I can back out to my details. So again, we've got the one tap scan barcode, the one tap fill out form access. Okay, so where did that barcode save? Where did the form save? One might think form saves in attachments, but if I go into the equipment attachments, we don't have our form saving there. In fact, if I go to the triple dot more menu at the bottom, you'll see that it jumps me straight into my forms because that's the last component I used. But if I back out using the more link in the top left, you'll see that I have two options in here: barcodes and forms. If I go into barcodes, there's the barcode I scanned. And of course, I can scan more from that screen or tap in a manual barcode. And if I tap into forms, there's the service report I generated a moment ago. So that's where those two bits of data or images or forms, PDFs, land and save. Whilst I'm out in this more menu, I'm going to show you the next new feature, which is the edit option you see in the top right, just beneath done. What this allows me to do is rearrange the icons in my equipment navigation along the bottom of the screen. So you can see along the bottom of the screen, details, fields, attachments, and history are blue. And in the middle of the screen, barcodes and forms are blue. The icons along the bottom are blue because they're currently sitting in that position. The barcodes and forms icons in the middle of the screen are blue because they're ones that are currently living in the triple dot more menu. But if I make more use of barcodes than, say, custom fields, so maybe I don't need to see fields as the second option along the bottom, I'd rather replace that with barcodes, I can simply grab barcodes. So I'll click and drag, drop it over fields, and then they'll swap. So you see fields is now blue in the middle and barcodes is blue along the bottom. I can do the same with forms. Maybe I don't need to access my equipment history so much. So I might replace history with forms. So when I hit done on that, and I just back out of that menu, go back into my details, you can see now along the bottom, my navigation has been rejigged to details, barcodes, attachments, forms, and triple dot more. So that's the next new feature that they've added in, the ability to edit those icons and allow you to organize them in more the way you work, which is great. About 3/4 or maybe even 4/5 of the way down the screen, you now have the tested panel there. So you've got quick access to a pass-fail test. I'm going to say this failed the test. You'll see why in a moment. So beneath that, again, you have your comment area, just a white space. In the past, you've had to type your comments in. Now you can access your common phrases that you build out in the admin system on the web on the website of Ascora. So along the in that comment field on the right hand side, you'll see a plus icon, and if I tap that, it loads up all my common phrases. So again, as I usually do, I can drop in a common phrase, and if I need to add more text, I can still tap into that and type as much as I need to. So that is the next new feature, that I can access my common phrases from my comments. Now, this piece of equipment failed for whatever reason. It failed a test. So let's say I might actually just pass FHR2. So I've passed FHR2, I've failed FHR1. Let's say I now need to generate a quote to fix that piece of equipment. If I back out to the job on the app and go into the main menu on the job, along the bottom or towards the bottom of that menu, you'll see a create quote option. And if I tap that, obviously it's going to create a blank new quote for the same customer. But if I scroll down the page, you'll see that in the equipment block, it's now loaded up FHR1 automatically for me because I marked it as failed. So any equipment that fails will automatically drop into your new quote. If I just back out of that quote without saving it, go back into my equipment and fail FHR2, and then go and generate a quote, and we scroll down the quote, you'll see that FHR1 and FHR2 are now both in the quote because they were both marked as failed. So as you can see, there's been a bunch of new improvements added in this iOS release. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you've got a bit out of it, and enjoy using Ascora.